Welcome back to the System That Man Built podcast, where we explore the story of a trading engine unlike anything the retail world has ever seen. I'm Alice.
And I'm Brian. And today, we're kicking off episode 1, the beginning of the journey, the spark, the frustration, the problem that millions of traders face every single day, and the moment one person decided to build something better.
This episode covers chapters 1 and 2 of the book, and honestly, these chapters hit like the opening scene of a documentary. You can feel the tension, you can feel the stakes, you can feel the why behind the entire project.
Because before there was an engine, before there were agents, before there was a genome or a scanner or a risk manager, there was a problem, a big one, a problem that every retail trader knows intimately.
And that problem is this: retail traders are outmatched, not by a little, by a lot.
They're trading against institutions with faster data, better tools, deeper pockets, and entire teams of analysts. Meanwhile, the average trader is sitting at home with a charting app, a Discord server, and a dream.
And the book opens with that reality, the brutal truth that retail traders are not losing because they're dumb or lazy or undisciplined. They're losing because the game is stacked against them.
And the most powerful part? Paul, the builder of SST, wasn't trying to fix the world. He was trying to fix himself, his own weaknesses, his own emotional impulses, his own limitations as a human trader.
Exactly. The book makes it clear SST wasn't born out of ambition. It was born out of necessity.
The problem: human traders are human.
Let's talk about the emotional side of trading, because Chapter 1 does not hold back. It lays out the psychological battlefield that every trader fights on.
Fear, greed, FOMO, revenge trading, overconfidence, hesitation, impatience.
All the classics.
And the book makes a point that I think is so important. Humans are not wired for trading. We're wired for survival. We're wired for pattern recognition. We're wired for emotional responses that kept our ancestors alive, but absolutely destroy our P&L.
And the book gives examples that every trader will recognize. You see a stock running and you jump in too late. You take profits too early because you're scared. You hold losers too long because you're hopeful. You chase alerts from gurus who don't know you exist.
And the worst part? You know you're doing it. You know it's irrational. You know it's hurting you, and you still do it.
Because you're human.
And that's the moment where the book pivots. Because Paul realizes something profound. If the problem is human emotion, the solution cannot be human.
The vision: a system that thinks like a trader, but without the weaknesses.
This is where Chapter 2 comes in, and this is where the story starts to feel like the origin of Iron Man. You've got a builder, alone in a room, staring at a problem that feels impossible.
And instead of giving up, he decides to build something that doesn't exist. Something that doesn't feel fear, doesn't feel greed, doesn't get tired, doesn't get emotional, doesn't get distracted.
A system that can do what a human trader does, but better, faster, more consistently, more rationally.
And the book introduces the core philosophy of SST. Trading is not one job, it is many jobs, and no single human can do all of them well at the same time.
You need a scanner, you need an analyst, you need a risk manager, you need an execution engine, you need a strategist, you need a monitor, you need a historian, you need a psychologist.
And that's just to trade one stock.
Exactly. So the book asks a brilliant question. What if each of those jobs was handled by a specialized AI agent?
Not one giant black box, not one monolithic algorithm, but a team, a coordinated system, a digital trading desk.
And that's the moment the entire architecture of SST is born, not as a single AI, but as a collection of AIs, each one doing one job extremely well.
The philosophy: building a system that can learn.
One of the most powerful ideas in these opening chapters is the concept of learning, not backtesting, not static rules, not fixed indicators.
Learning, real learning, reinforcement learning.
The book makes a distinction that I think is brilliant. Backtesting is archaeology. Reinforcement learning is evolution.
Backtesting tells you what worked in the past. Reinforcement learning tells you what works now.
And that's the heart of the genome, the 91 signal intelligence layer that becomes the brain of the system. But in chapters 1 and 2, we're not there yet. We're still in the conceptual stage.
But the seeds are planted, the idea is forming, the vision is crystallizing.
A system that learns from every trade, a system that evolves, a system that adapts, a system that gets better with time.
And most importantly, a system that does not repeat human mistakes.
The moment of commitment.
There's a moment in chapter 2 that I think every builder, every entrepreneur, every creator will relate to.
The moment Paul realizes no one is coming to save him, no one is going to build this for him. If he wants this system, he has to build it himself.
And that moment is so powerful because it's not dramatic. It's quiet, it's internal, it's a decision.
A decision that changes everything.
He decides to build a system that can do what he cannot, a system that can enforce discipline, a system that can protect him from himself, a system that can trade without emotion, a system that can learn, a system that can evolve.
And that's the moment SST Alpha Engine is born.
The humanity behind the machine.
One of the things I love about these chapters is how human they are. This isn't a story about AI replacing people. It's a story about AI supporting people.
Exactly, it's not AI versus human, it's AI plus human.
The system isn't designed to take over. It's designed to help, to protect, to guide, to enforce discipline, to remove the emotional noise so the human can focus on strategy and judgment.
It's a co-pilot, not a replacement.
And that philosophy carries through the entire book. The system is powerful, but the human is still the captain.
The foreshadowing.
Chapters 1 and 2 end with this sense of anticipation. You can feel that something big is coming. You can feel the architecture forming. You can feel the agents taking shape.
You can feel the tension between the human trader and the machine he's building. You can feel the stakes rising. You can feel the story accelerating.
And you know that the next chapters are going to dive into the architecture, the agents, the genome, the risk management, the entire system.
But episode 1 is about the beginning, the problem, the vision, the decision to build.
And honestly, it's one of the strongest openings to a trading book I've ever read.
Closing.
So that wraps episode 1, the foundation, the philosophy, the spark that ignited the entire SST Alpha engine.
In episode 2, we're diving into the architecture, the 6 agents, the nervous system, the coordination layer, the entire structure that makes SST feel like a living organism.
It's one of my favorite chapters in the whole book.
Same, so stick around. Episode 2 is coming up next.
We'll see you there.